the hands, that means we are live, Barry, my brother. You know the time, live at 9 on my day.
It's your boy Barry.
And we got our, I'm sorry.
It's all good, it's all good. I'm
You
Josh.
wanted to introduce.
Yeah, he wanted, I saw you jumping for it. My bad, go ahead.
It's all good, my name's Josh. Hey.
Our movie critic back in the building.
Hello.
Back for our weekly movie reviews.
Oh,
Yeah, I moved the mic closer.
Oh. Better?
Yep.
There
watch
you
it.
go.
Yep, there you go.
Cool.
First off, I wanted to start the show off. Let me start by saying, like, I feel like the media's kind of milking this Kobe thing to a certain extent. Not everyone, only some people. So that's why I don't like talking about it that much, because I feel like we're.
Turn the volume down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So, I hate talking about it, and I feel like I'm being a hypocrite, but I'm really not. 'Cause I'm not trying to milk this or whatever. I'm not doing this for clicks or views or nothing like that.
I mean, it was on they had it on every channel today.
Right. So it's like I'm not. If you know me, I'm not trying to be all doing this for likes or whatever. It takes a lot of courage to do what Vanessa did today, man. To talk in front of like thousands or hundreds, whatever, how many it was. It seemed like thousands.
There's a lot of people.
And the Staples Center, wherever it was, it was just crazy. And like that shit, like really. It sounds corny, but it really inspired me, you know, because it was just like, you know, just the way she was talking and the way she just talked about Kobe. It was just like, damn, he was a really good ass like dude, and a really good father and stuff like that. And that just makes me want. That just inspires me to just. I want to be a good dad, and I can't like. Let me not say I can't wait to have kids, because I can wait. That's for sure. I'm not ready for that. But when that time comes, like I can't wait to be a dad, because like the way she just talked about him and about her daughter and stuff like that, and it's just like damn. And again, I just gotta give her credit for like I don't know how she went up there. I would have been bawling my eyes out, and I'm a dude, so it's like I don't know how she did it. It takes a lot of courage for her to do that, including everyone else who went up there and talked. Rob Pelinka, Michael Jordan, a bunch of other people. So I just want to start
Michael
off.
Jordan's speech.
Yeah, I heard he became a crying meme again, but you know, it's from the heart. So shout out to that, and I just wanted to be like, man, that if you haven't seen that video, you should watch it. Just watch clips of it at least, because it just really, I feel like it should change your perspective on things. I feel like a little bit, because just you got a lot of people out there who don't have kids and stuff like that, or not have kids, who don't have parents or don't have a father, don't have a mom, stuff like that. So it's just like, that's just like, it was just really inspiring, and like I just really learned a lot from it.
Especially a black father too. See how he had the dedication to his kids and his family and his passion, which is basketball.
And
it's like everything he centered it around his family and basketball, and like, you know, like when you see somebody that passionate about something that they care about to the point that that's what he was doing on his way, like not saying on his way to die, but like on his last minutes on earth, it was still basketball and family. Like, so like that's dope that he was dedicated to something, and he found something to dedicate that, and his family supported him. So Kobe Bryant will definitely be missed. And you know, I want to say it was good to see, not good to see, but my favorite part of not my favorite part, but the funeral when Beyonce sung, she sung the EXO song, and she said that was Kobe Bryant's favorite song. That touched me, because that's one of my favorite Beyonce songs. Like, that song is real. You know, a lot of guys don't like to admit that they like a little Beyonce here and there.
I'll admit I like Beyonce now, okay?
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But
if you
like
can't
that-
admit you like Beyonce, you just corny,
That
bro.
song
It's
is just-
Beyonce, bro. Like, come
That's
on,
what I'm
bro.
saying. Like,
come on,
and
it's
you could
Beyonce.
tell that like they had like a genuine kind of like friendship. They probably have like kind of like a similar work ethic. So
Right.
you know, they probably like had a genuine respect for each other. And it's like, yeah, like she sung that song, and it was just. I mean, I always think that Beyonce has a beautiful voice. So it's like, it was just a you know, if you got a chance to check it out, like to pay your respects to Kobe or whatever, like it's something worth. I don't want to say it's something worth watching, but
I think it's worth watching. I learned something from it, and like I feel like I didn't have much to learn from it. Like I wasn't watching like, oh, what can I learn from this? Like, no, it just like the way she was just talking about him, the stuff he would do, and the dedication, all that stuff. It just is just inspiring, just hearing that, and it's like I got emotional when I'm at work watching this. By the way,
I don't know if I'll say all that.
No, I work in sports.
Oh yeah,
so
all right, my fault.
it was on TV, and everyone was watching it. Literally, it was quiet in all the offices and all that, because it was really like crazy. And And this with that, shout out to Bobby Hood, Mr. Hood who came
Hey,
in.
Mr. Bobby.
He said it brought tears to his eyes too. Like, yeah, it was really,
It's just sad.
yeah.
So going too soon, and it's just weird because it's like he is like when it comes to basketball, you don't really not think about Kobe Bryant. So it's like to see Michael Jordan talk about Kobe and Shaq talk about Kobe. It's just weird to me because it's like how is he not here? Like he is basketball to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's like everybody else had other things they ventured off and did outside of basketball. He's like he just stick with basketball.
That was his love. Like, he wanted all his daughters to play basketball.
Nah, yeah, but that's just type of dedication that's just like you're not gonna see again. I mean, if you see it again, it's gonna be like it's gonna be modeled after Kobe. So
This is one of a kind. But again, I didn't want to milk it, so we just gonna say RIP to him. Shout out to everyone who
rest in peace to Pop Smoke
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me of that. RIP Pop Smoke. I was able to go to a Chief Keef concert. Shout out to Sosa on last Thursday, and it was dope. And even though he's from Chicago, he showed so much love to Pop Smoke. They played so much Pop Smoke before he even performed and stuff like that. And when they played Dior, oh my God, it was just a different kind of. I've been to all kinds of concerts, and then I've only started like this year. I've been to Young M.A., Earth, Wind and Fire, all kinds of concerts. Roddy Ricch, he had the #1 song and all that stuff, and you see all these performances and stuff like that. But man, when they played Dior in the shout out to the Knockdown Center in Queens, when they played Dior, man, it was crazy. Like I'd never felt like a vibe like that. Everyone was lit, everyone was hyped, and that just shows you like how much we go hard for like our New York rappers. I feel like I feel like it wasn't like that before, but I feel like with Pop Smoke it was different. Like we was really like.
Nah, yeah, like it wasn't.
Backing him.
It was like he was getting his just due. Like you know what I'm saying. Everybody heard "Welcome to the Party," and everybody liked it. But as far as I know, I know everybody, all the youngins from Brooklyn, they all loved Pop. They was the one putting me on to Pop Smoke, so I knew he had something.
But it's dope because it's like people from the Bronx, people from Harlem, like
yeah, it wasn't nobody
just
hating
Brooklyn.
on him. Yeah,
like when you heard Pop Smoke, you didn't really like. It wasn't like, oh yeah, he's from Brooklyn, blah, blah, blah. Like nah, it was like.
He's putting on for the city.
Yeah, it was really for the city, and like that's what it was so unique about him. And I was really.
And
just
he was
starting,
just the next, like he really was the next one putting on for the city. Like that was that was whack.
And it was like a lot of people saying this too, and I can relate to it. I was just starting to get into his music. I'm not gonna lie, I've listened to his music like way before, but like I was never like a huge fan, like really bumping it like that. And then after the whole thing happened, I'm like, okay, I really have to sit down and listen to his work and stuff like that. And since we talking about that, we're gonna move on from that too. RIP Pop Smoke. We're gonna get into the movies a little bit. We were talking about the conspiracies thing and stuff like that.
But we have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller. Oh, we can get into that right now.
Yeah.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Wagwan Berry.
Hey, what's up?
The brethren, King Fresh, tell me about
King Fresh, what it do, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
No, that's my brethren, man. He tell me about you, fam.
What he said?
Tell me about your music and everything. Call up, let una know, respect.
I
I'm
appreciate
a
it.
video camera. I work for Sony.
Mm-hmm.
I work for Sony, and he been telling me about you and the video shoot with your friend tomorrow. So we in. I respect what you do. I respect Josh.
That's what's
I
up,
respect,
bro. We
Barry, I
respect
like
you.
what-
You already
I like
know.
what you're doing, man. I like your work.
I appreciate
The
it,
guys
man.
that,
over
man.
this ends like it. So we just want to give you a shout out.
Much respect, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Calling from Jamaica.
All the way from
All the way from
Jamaica with love.
Facts.
Yeah,
Wagwan.
man. So bless. Easy, man.
You too, bro.
What's up?
Man.
You too.
Have a good time out there.
Yeah, brethren.
All right, man.
Peace.
Don't get nobody pregnant.
Haha.
All right, bro.
Oh yeah. So just again, shout out to the caller. Shout out to everyone in the
Shout out
Facebook
King
chat.
Fresh.
I see everyone in the Facebook chat. Shout out to Mama Berry. Shout out to Mr. Hood. Shout out to Robbie Hood. If we missed you. Shout out to Jeffrey Joseph. Shout out to everybody.
Shout Shout out to
And
everybody
yeah,
that woke
yeah,
up.
everyone's talking about the whole Kobe thing. Yeah, it was really dope. It was really something. But yeah, we wanted to get into music. We wanted to talk about that for a minute. Well, I want to talk about that for music. I listened to some albums because with the Pop Smoke thing happening, I was listening to his album, and I was like, might as well listen to other people's albums and stuff like that. So I listened to who? I listened to A Boogie's album.
What'd you think?
You know,
No?
it's crazy. I love A Boogie, man, but
I've been hearing a lot of no's about his album.
and
I haven't heard it yet.
I knew something was off when I didn't see all the girls go crazy over that album as they usually
The
do.
last album, I liked
girls
it.
was fiending over the last album, like, oh my god, and like, it was quiet. It was mostly quiet for the most part after this
Crickets.
album came out. I was like, that's strange. And
He said he got more. He said I knew something was up when he said he was putting out something else. I was like, bro, you just put. All right. So that's you.
I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't. I ain't really like it. It was. You know, shout out to him though. I know he's gonna come back. Like he's not a bad artist. It was just.
He said he's coming out with more music, so maybe the next.
Yeah, he's probably just maybe it was like a future thing where it was like just one album.
Well,
and then-
future albums was good.
I didn't like the first one.
That's first album.
Which one was
Talking about Future, the gold one. Talking about Future and Hendrix.
Hendrix? It was one called Future, one was called Hendrix, right? Hendrix was the gold one.
Oh yeah,
right?
shout out to Hendrix. This is the 3-year anniversary of that the Future Hendrix when Future changed the game.
Oh, facts.
Yeah. Future was the first one.
Yeah, I didn't like Future.
All right, well that's
It was more of like a. But that wasn't really like a. Those were. It was two different albums.
different
Hendrix
albums.
is more like.
Future had Draco season on there. Had
I mean, yeah, Fresh Air. Fresh Air is one of the most underrated Future songs in my opinion. I feel like.
Yeah, Fresh Air was I like Fresh. I like the whole Hendrix album is fire. That's my favorite Future album. Period. That's why I like it. Like I was like that was a good time. Well, not all the time.
But shout out to A Boogie though. That was a good. It was. He's a good artist, but I didn't like the album. I listened to who else did I listen to? Oh, I listened to. If you guys watched the show, not too long ago, we did like a top 10 artists, like breakout candidates. My boy Duke Deuce dropped his mixtape. It was his first official mixtape. Well, it wasn't his first one, but like he signed to QC. And I think it's his first QC mixtape, and it was pretty hard. So if y'all still ain't check out Duke Deuce, check my boy out. He's from Memphis. I like Memphis rappers for some reason. I don't know why. But shout out to him. Who else? I re-listened to Doughboy's album. Shout out to Dope Easy. You listen to
Free
any new
Band
albums?
Gang, nah.
Facts, free bands. I listened to a lot of music this week because the whole Pop Smoke thing. He really like.
Yeah, I'm taking notes in my head of everything you're saying so I can listen to it later.
Yeah,
Nah, check it out. Yeah,
It's just.
I mean, me personally, I've been writing more music, not necessarily listening, but I never really listened to Pop Smoke on my own,
Me either.
but I did. And they said that like a lot of people was upset because they said the streaming numbers have gone up significant amounts since he passed, and people have been posting it. So people were like, "Why are you posting that? It's not really giving like any good, like
It's not helping him out.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of negative, but they're like, well, we're just trying to show people that he's like people are supporting his music, like.
Right.
So it was kind of like a back and forth with Complex about that kind of situation. I was like, I don't know, like I don't think that information is insensitive, like, but
It kind of feeds into like, you know, the whole morbid idea about like artists getting bigger after they pass.
Yeah, that's a
which
fact.
is like, I mean, it's true, but it's also kind of depressing in a way,
yeah.
and insensitive. But it's like you want to support the artists while they're alive to collect the checks.
exactly because we don't know where that check is going now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's. I'm pretty. I'm not saying. I'm not gonna say it's. I'm pretty sure, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
you'd have to assume like someone's gonna fight that his family gets money off of all the streams and all that stuff.
We don't know what he signed because
Yeah.
he probably didn't know he was going to pass anytime soon. You feel me? So we don't know.
Well,
what
I
his
mean,
paperwork
let's
was.
not say that because these artists are getting. Besides Blueface, I don't know why the hell he signed to Birdman for, but I think a lot of artists are getting smarter in signing these deals nowadays.
Well, part of it is I think also now like there are so many independent ways to release your music. You don't really need to sign with like a big label in order to get it out there. I mean, anyone with a SoundCloud link can kind of just put their stuff out. So I guess they're getting more knowledgeable on their own about how to keep track of their money, how to look at royalties, how to look at rights.
Yeah,
or if you're not, you should.
Exactly. So a lot
let's
of these
hope
artists.
because that's all I'm saying is I don't know. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I hope he is, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like music, I've mostly been listening to. I've been re-listening some old stuff. Been listening to Clipping, Splendor, and Misery. I really love. Have you listened to that album at all?
No. Who's that?
Clipping is sort of this hip hop rap group. Is what David Diggs was a part of before he got into acting.
Who?
David Diggs. He was in Blind Spotting. He was in Blackish.
He does music too.
Yeah.
So
that's how
he's
he
a
started off.
comedian.
No, he's like an actor now, but he started off as a rapper and hip hop artist, and he was part of this group called Clipping. And one of my favorite albums that they did was called Splendor and Misery, which is this really creepy narrative rap album that takes place in outer space. And it's sort of this narrative album. This guy who's basically trapped in a space station that was just attacked, and the way he tries to maintain his sanity is by rapping. And this is an actual album. I love narrative rap.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound.
How long ago did it come out?
It's like maybe 5 years ago, I want to say.
Oh,
Maybe
so
a little bit longer. Like it's within the last 10 years.
Fairly, I never heard of him or the group, but it sounds like an interesting, definitely an interesting topic.
It's very moody. It's a very moody rap album. Like they get really creative with their production to sort of make you really feel like you're on this space station and you're really in this main narrative guy's mindset.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of. I don't know if you ever listened to Logic.
I listen to some, not a ton.
Logic had an album. It was like a spaceship kind of theme. I forgot what it was called. Oh man, I wish I had like someone who listens because I don't really listen to Logic that much out here.
Yeah, me neither.
Even though I think he's one of the most underrated rappers out there. You disagree because he doesn't rap about gangster shit all the time. Like,
why is that? Why I disagree? Why is that? Why I disagree?
Yeah, I'm playing.
Why can't he just not be on my cup of tea?
Yeah, I feel like there's a certain color. Is that the right word? Colorism towards him because he's a lighter skin complexion. That's why I find like he gets, he gets the streams, he gets all that from like other people, but and you're not alone. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people think that, and I just don't know.
I wish his lyrics had a bit more bite to them. I don't know. I kind of just feel like he plays that.
You don't like Logic either.
Not that I don't like him. It's I just haven't listened to a ton, and the few I have listened to.
Because if you say that now, then you haven't listened to him enough.
Well, like what do you recommend?
Stuff where he's
like,
nasty.
Well, what would you recommend that's got like a lot of bite and energy to it?
I'll let you know after the show. I'm not good with like names of albums. Speaking of which, I was on Genius when I was at Chief Keef concert. If y'all see me become like a meme, I'm sorry. Like, so I couldn't remember any of Chief Keef's albums and stuff like that. I'd be having bad memory. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna let you know after the show.
Yeah, please. I'm always down for recommending because I mean I know there's so much talk about him, both from the fact that he's mixed and that's one of the things that makes him unique among various rap artists. But like I tried listening to a few of his songs, and I'm just like, it's okay, but
just listen to J. Cole and save yourself a whole lot of time.
I like J. Cole. I do listen to J. Cole.
Save yourself some time.
But like the guys I listen
Everyone
to,
listens to J. Cole though. Yeah. Everyone knows about J. Cole.
J. Cole is good.
But like the guys,
okay, Logic is good too.
But like
No,
the guys, I mean, personally, the guys I like to listen to are guys like MF Doom or Czarface or Ghostface Killer, the guys that are like really weird and experimental and aren't afraid to get a little bit crazy every once in a while and play with the samples. Well, like I need some more recommendations because stuff that's popular from him. I
got you.
I guess the one stuff that gets popular isn't going to be the one that's going to have the most.
Because I'm kind of in that same boat. It's like I like listening to like hood shit, all that stuff, but like I also like listening to stuff that that just piques my interest, like different kinds of beats and just like stuff that's like it's just different.
Have you listened to 12 Reasons to Die by any chance?
No.
It is an insanely creative Ghostface Killer album. It's literally
how long ago it came out?
10 years ago, I want to say.
12 Reasons to Die.
Yeah, and it's basically a narrative album about like Ghostface Killer plays a gangster named Tony Starks, and he gets killed as he gets power, but then his body is melted into 12 vinyl records, and when they all play at the same time, he comes back as a ghost. And the production,
Ghostface one of my favorite rappers.
The production is insane. It combines like samples from like kung fu movies and westerns and grindhouse movies in order to create this whole grindhouse movie vibe that really plays well with the story. It's so good.
I feel like you might be a Tech Nine fan. Are you?
I am a Tech Nine fan.
Okay,
yeah, I'm definitely a
Yeah. I used to listen to Tech Nine heavy back in the day, man. But for some reason, it just doesn't hit the same for me. Maybe I'm just like I grew out of it, but Tech Nine, he's still one of like the most coldest and most underrated rappers ever.
Yes.
Tech Nine is one of the most underrated rappers ever. He's a little, he's a little strange.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's why his thing's called strange music.
Yeah.
But
He did
he
this-
still spits.
He did this one song with the singer from System of the Down. I'm trying to I'm trying to remember
How long ago was it?
Shit, I don't remember. It might have been again like maybe a little bit under 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was his peak. That was
That was his peak,
prime,
and
yeah.
when I heard that song, I'm like, I need to find more of him.
Yeah.
Because he rapped about being a cult leader and shit, and I'm just like, yes, these are the topics I
Yeah.
need.
You ever listen to Hobson?
I've listened to some. I like his all the ill mind stuff he does, but sometimes he's a bit too like trollish for
Yeah.
me. Where like I get that's the character he's playing, but like and that's what Eminem used to do. But Eminem was also a lot more creative and a
Yeah.
lot more like
Better. You
better.
can say
He was
it.
better.
Yeah, you can
He
say
was better.
it. You can
Yeah.
say it.
I mean, Hobson's definitely done songs I
Right.
really like, but I just keep thinking I could be listening to old Eminem right now,
Right.
and I'd get sort of the same vibe that I'm getting out of this.
Exactly, and that's with me too. It's like I've always liked listening to different kind of minds when it comes to rapping. Just like you could be weird and all that, but sometimes it gets a little bit too weird, and I just don't listen to it. It's just easy as that.
Right.
Like you listen to an album, you might have like 5, 4 good songs on it, and the rest might be like some weird ass shit you just don't like. But
And that's
it's-
why I like
that's what it is.
And that's why I tend to prefer like narrative album stuff with rap music, because it's less about okay, we got these singles and a shit ton of filler. Like it's all meant to build on a theme or a story, and those are the types of things. Mainly just coming from a film background, like that's the sort of thing that really appeals to me.
Yeah. One artist I was listening to last night. I was listening to some crazy music. I like all over the place. I listened to like Nickelback. I'm not just saying that. You can look at my history right now. I am not capping. I was listening to Nickelback, Green Day. I was listening to old
Green
school
Day.
stuff. Like I
Green
was going
Day.
back in time.
American Idiot is still relevant,
Man,
if not more relevant right now.
Facts. Who else was I listening to?
Any like Evanescence at all? Or thank you.
She knows about it.
I was just watching this old WWE pay-per-view. I think it was like No Way Out from 2003, and
Oh, man.
the opening was "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence, and I just felt like I was in middle school again.
That's crazy. I'm trying to pull up my history right now. So this so y'all don't think
You got any Disturbed or Linkin Park or Cannibal Corpse on there? That'll just complete my middle school playlist.
I was listening to The Fray, Maroon 5.
Shout out Maroon 5.
I love Maroon 5.
I'm not a Maroon 5 fan at all.
How?
No.
Yeah, you
Adam
are.
Levine
How?
is so goddamn boring. I hate Maroon 5.
Oh,
like they
nah.
started off really okay, and then they just got
Okay,
like,
but you liked them in the
boring and,
beginning, though, right?
in the beginning, yeah, they were fine because they had a bit more funk to it, a bit more of a unique identity. Then
You never
after-
heard Lost Stars?
Lost Stars is fine.
Did you like feel it?
I just don't like I see Adam Levine, and I'm just like, I do not need you in my life.
How you not like Adam Levine?
I
I
can
love Adam
replace
Levine.
Adam Levine with
That's
so
my
many
boy.
people.
Oh, man.
Oh my god! Like he just has like this weird, unnatural voice that just sounds
that
so.
just sounds like heaven.
It sounds like a
Facts.
speak and spell. It sounds like a speak and spell. I could easily like. Remember when you used to play at the computer? You type something out, and the computer talks that for you. That's Adam Levine.
He do it.
It sounds like he
Hey.
swallowed
He
a
knows,
trumpet.
he knows
Cause when
how
I
to-
first like I never really was a big Maroon 5 fan. But I remember Kanye had him on his album, and I was like, yo, his voice just sounds
Kanye
really
can make
good on
anyone
this
sound
beat.
good.
Then I went and checked out the rest of this, and I'm like, he's the lead singer of all of their songs.
Yeah.
Like I thought that there was a group that was like somebody come in and I was like, wait, he's singing all of these songs, and I was like, he's the GOAT. Like, 'cause
Well,
he sounds
Kanye could
fire.
also just make anyone sound better than they actually are, just from the sheer power of his production. Like that's
True. But I like Maroon 5. Like
Yeah.
bottoms. I like
Facts.
this like and then the song with Maroon 5 and Rihanna, that song was fire.
He was on Lil Wayne's album that just came out.
Yeah. That was
So-
dope too.
That's how you know Maroon, like,
Everyone's everyone's worked with Lil Wayne at least once.
True.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Adam Levine is dope. Like, I don't
I
know.
feel like he's one of the
we
greatest of all
agree.
time.
We're not gonna agree on
We
it.
disagree. We disagree. What else? Let's talk about some movies.
Okay.
Being that let's transition from music to movies.
Okay.
You was telling me how you like the way, how music is viewed.
Yeah, because I mean, especially last year. I mean, actually, again, bring up Kanye. There was a film that came out last year, which I think is going to start growing in popularity soon, called Waves. Have either of you seen it? It was released by A24. It's like Trey Edward Schultz. He's done a few films, mostly like the last couple were horror. This one's more of a family drama. It's got Sterling K. Brown in the lead. And what is incredibly unique about it that I would definitely love as like a general discussion are films where either they were shown a concert or use of music that really appealed to you, that really helped communicate the idea and tone of the film. Like one that I remember I've talked about a bit before in the past is one of my favorite concerts in a movie was the DJ battle in Juice.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah, I remember you telling me
that is like my just in terms of the sheer energy and both on how like when all the DJ scratching is going on, how that like basically reflects the desperation, anxiety, as well as the passion of the character, how he wants to be in the moment, but he's also just his head's totally out there right now because Tupac just killed his best friend, and how that mix of anxiety and adrenaline was all captured so well in how he was scratching those beats, like scratching the records. Like that's just my favorite. I was wondering if there are any moments that you two really appeal to you two in terms of music or tone in film.
I have a question.
No, go ahead.
I have a question because Juice is one of my favorite movies, and like I don't know if I like it because I can identify with like a lot of the characters, or just because it's a good movie. So I would say
that's a good movie.
Well, I was saying like I'm not saying you can't identify with the characters,
right.
But I'm saying when you watch the movie, like how does it affect you?
I mean, a big part of it is just. This is just because of the quality of the film itself, as well as just the general acting around it. I mean, I thought the characters were all really identifiable. The film put me in their world very effectively, mostly just due to cinematography and the fact that Tupac himself was just a very charismatic actor. I just really loved it. I really loved the film overall.
Okay. That's just a question. I was just curious because I'm like, it's like when you watch movies that are like that appeal to like they appeal to your culture. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say like I watched 1917 or something like that.
Right.
And like we just watched and I was like, y'all I was so bored. Like and it's like.
Well,
it's like that's like I mean I don't like war movies and stuff like that, but some stuff that I can't really relate to, sometimes I don't really try to. That's why I just
tried. I mean, growing up, just for me personally, film was my way of learning about different cultures, different groups of people, as a way to sort of at least build some sort of connection that I wouldn't have been able to get just in my personal life.
Not facts.
There are films that definitely I feel like I relate to because it goes with my culture, whether it's the work of Mel Brooks or even just this past year, Jojo Rabbit, like Jewish films that utilize humor as a weapon against anti-Semitism or against subject matter that they find disturbing, basically using comedy as a weapon. That's films that at least I consider not only that I love, but appeals to my culture. And I do think it's important to sort of recognize that distinction because you don't want to watch a movie and be like, okay, I saw Juice, I now understand black people. Like, like it's good that you gotta have the cognitive dissonance too. But I mean, when it comes to Juice, I just really loved it, and that was actually my first exposure to just Tupac in general. Because I saw the film in middle school. I didn't really know who he was. I think I just saw it was on TV. I think it might have been on HBO or something.
What, Gridlocked or Juice?
Juice.
Okay.
Yeah, Gridlocked I saw later. But then when I looked at the cast and I saw, okay, this is Tupac. He's a rapper. I'm gonna listen to his music, and I'm just like, Dear Mama was awesome.
Yeah, shout out my mama. She liked that song.
So, question. So, what if I had to give you like a top 5 movie soundtracks, like or just like you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough. Let me think, because I'm just. I would say one of them has to be definitely come from the shirt that I'm wearing right now, Suspiria, made by the prog rock band Goblin, because that soundtrack really gets me, really puts me in the mood of the movie in terms of adding a level of nerves and unease. Especially despite the fact that it sounds so beautiful. Mostly it's use of piano, and then as the song and the track goes on throughout the soundtrack, it just goes more and more crazy the more instruments are added. So that's definitely one. I love the soundtrack for The Thing that Ennio Morricone did, which is weird because that soundtrack was listed one of the worst albums of that year by the Razzies, but they're dumb. So that soundtrack, I think I just really like horror soundtracks that are really good at building mood and tone because I keep coming back to like that, Halloween, The Exorcist.
So on those soundtracks, are people singing or is it just a beat?
It's usually the beat, usually just a beat. When it comes to people singing, that's a bit tougher for me because I don't really. Whenever like there's like a song that came out of a soundtrack, it's always kind of weird for me in terms of trying to judge it either as a song on its own versus how it relates to the movie as a whole. Because like I'll think of Wild Wild West with Will Smith, where I kind of like the song better than the movie.
That song was fire.
That song is awesome. The movie was awful, but the song is freaking awesome.
I just like the part with Salma Hayek. So anybody seen that movie, I know.
Salma Hayek.
I love
my
every.
goodness.
Yeah.
She is something special.
She sure is.
Anyways,
I was gonna say not to get off.
I was gonna ask you your top 5.
Yeah, well, I don't have a top 5. I have a 1 of 1. My favorite movie and soundtrack is 8 Mile, and like that, like the 8 Mile movie to me is like cause like a lot of people would give me credit like cause of Eminem being white. And how do I relate to Eminem? Because Eminem was my favorite rapper at the time. Period. They were like, oh, you don't love yourself because you like Eminem and he's white. And I'm like, so the hell? Like, I was like, so what? He's white. Like, he's one of the best rappers. He raps about stuff that like I can relate to. Not everything that he talks about I can relate to, but he talks about like just personal feelings that everybody has. That some people deny that they have like emotions or something like that. Like. It's like he tapped into certain emotions, like with certain songs that I had never heard another artist do at that time. And for me, him, like seeing his backstory, because it's like, yeah, he was popular at that time. He was like the highest selling rapper, period. But a lot of people didn't like it because he was white. So watching his backstory and seeing how he had to, because like rap is a black music, period. Like we created it, like it's things like that. So for him, he had to be twice as better. It's like he had to be the black man of the white world. Like how we are in the white world, he had to be that in the black world. And he was great at it. So it's like, and you got to see his struggle with dealing with that. So
well, part of it is Eminem. He's talking about his experiences. He's not trying. Are you good? Oh, he's talking about his experiences. He's not trying to like be like anyone else. He's not trying to be black or relate to anyone else. He's rapping about his life, his perspective, his issues, his way.
But I feel like people get offended, like not offended, but people, I think it's just jealousy because it's like he became popular and sold a lot of records from it. And it was like, I felt like Eminem had to make sure that like his music was as good, like his lyrics and stuff is as good as his fame was, because it's like, he don't want to be that person that's saying, oh, you only got successful because you white. He's like, yeah, I'm white. I'm using that to my advantage, but I'm still could rap better than everybody that you put me on a song with. So it's like he had to do both at one time, and I think that's very hard.
It's crazy that you say that though, because it's like I feel like that's how it kind of is with Logic.
Oh, here we go.
Because it's like, how do you have those feelings towards Eminem, but it's like with Logic, it's like totally different.
Because Logic doesn't have good songs. That's why for
I'm
me.
gonna put you on.
I like I'm not gonna say I've seen Logic freestyle live plenty of times.
Yeah, we was drunk as hell with that
dope.
Samsung.
Yeah, I seen him before that too, and I seen him that time. And I'm not gonna sit here and say he can't rap. It just don't appeal to me because I know, like, you know what I'm saying. I like rap. Like I listen to rap
and
and I
Eminem
make
are
music.
very similar. I'm gonna say, don't listen to that Suicide song he had. Where it was a good song. It was like great for awareness. But don't think that. I feel like that when people think Logic, they think of that song.
That might be why I have my issue.
That's totally watch your hands. My fault. I think people think of that as soon as they think Logic. It's like, no, that's first of all, that was a great song. He helped a lot of people out with that song, but
that's great.
That's not him, is what I'm saying. Like he spits. Like I'm telling y'all.
Is for me, it's Eminem. As far as with white rappers, Eminem, then it's J. Cole.
J. Cole.
J. Cole's wait, what?
He's half white and black. So.
Yeah, so mixed.
Nah, because Logic is half white and black too, so they the same.
Yeah,
thing.
But Logic is like he looks white.
All right, well J. Cole is still half and half. Yeah, so it's the same thing. And J. Cole is way better than Logic. Way better. Like, come on, bro. Like he's
not way better. I'll say he's better, but he's not way better.
To me, what they did on the song together, if J. Cole be eating him, bro, J. Cole ate him on that song they had together. That's the only Logic song I ever heard.
I didn't even
so
hear
I
that,
was like, this is what people talk about. This is Josh King.
I'm gonna put you on.
Yeah,
and
please.
I'm gonna put y'all in anyway.
So, put yourself on.
I just actually this is kind of separate, but there's a movie I just wanted to make sure I at least got out there because it's one that it's a film that's kind of hidden but deserves a shit ton more attention than it's getting, and I just wanted to make sure I got it out there because it's a fantastic horror film, and I think it's on the last. It just came out a couple weeks ago, but it's got a limited release, so it's gonna take a little bit of digging to find it. And it's called The Lodge. It's a horror film.
I wanted to see that. It's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, because I initially caught it at the Sundance Film Festival last year, and when I saw it was finally getting into actual theaters, I rewatched it. Just as scary as the first time I saw it.
I haven't seen a truly scary movie in a while.
That will.
Yeah, I need a good one, man.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it.
And just so you know what it's about, it's about like this guy. He recently got married. This new woman. He divorced with his wife, married this new woman, and the kids are really skeptical around her. So what the father decides to do is take them to a cabin where they can all like bond and talk, and then he has to leave, and then the woman is basically stuck with these kids in this snowstorm in a cabin, and then all this weird shit starts happening where the woman doesn't know if like the kids are messing with her or she's slowly going insane because she was recently deprogrammed from a cult. So she's like on the verge of like not quite there yet, but she's still getting some like mental treatment. And these kids are like, we don't like you because you're not our real mom and you replaced our mom. So there's already that animosity. And the horror sort of comes from the isolation of being in a cabin with people.
Got it.
Okay.
That's
all you need.
I felt like you was already getting a little too far into the movie.
Yeah,
I was actually keeping it as like vague as possible. There's a lot more.
Got you.
So what about, did you see the Oscars?
I did see the Oscars. And
Were you satisfied with the results?
Yep. Parasite was my favorite film of last year, and it won Best Picture, so I am happy about it.
You know,
what about others?
I just saw Parasite not too long ago, man, and I'm gonna say it was little bit overrated. And I'm not the type of person who says like everything's all overrated and all that, but it just.
Well, what about it?
It was a great movie, but to me, Ford versus Ferrari, I think that was a better movie. I'm just gonna.
Well, what is it about Parasite that didn't really like land with?
No, it was a great movie. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, was it like the hype that got in the way or something?
Yeah, it's just like I feel like the way people was hyping it up.
That'll do it.
People hyped it up way too much, and it's like me personally, I like Ford versus Ferrari was like so good to me because it's like it's based on a true story, and it was like you kind of can. I guess maybe I liked it more because I could like they did him so dirty towards the end. I don't know if you saw
it. Yeah.
So like that's like. And this is how it is in the world. So it's like I felt that when that shit happened, I was like, damn. But the whole like story to it was great. So that's why I liked it more than Parasite. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I think the reason why I liked Parasite personally was because I just thought the story basically for the same reason you like Ford and Ferrari. It was a very relatable story. It wasn't based on anything true, but it's based on real income inequality issues that are happening all over the world, not just in like South Korea, but in the United States as well. It was
they was finessing. That's what I like. I like seeing other cultures finesse. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? Because they always try to make it seem like black people the only ones finessing. I be hanging out with all types of people that be finessing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we the number one finessers.
We the number ones. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the, I don't want to say that because they gonna come looking for you. We know. We number two. He ain't gonna talk about.
We number one.
Nah,
I want all the smoke.
Hey man, we over here because we got finessed. Let's not talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
By our own people.
We got finessed by other people too. I had a conversation with my cousin. He gonna give me this book, and he had dispelled all of that. Like some of our people did us dirty, but once we got over here, and we still over here getting done dirty, who we gonna blame now?
But I feel like you get done dirty by everyone though.
Well, who's doing them dirty?
Never mind. He's just scared to say we the number one finessers. I'm gonna say it, especially New Yorkers. But that's just me. He's scared.
I don't finesse nobody. I only got one cell phone. And
I could be poor or rich. I'm still gonna finesse.
Yeah, but yeah. I was just gonna say, like the Oscars, I'm pretty happy all around. The main films I was rooting for Best Picture were Parasite and Jojo Rabbit. Those were like the two that I was really kind of gunning for.
What is Jojo Rabbit again?
That was the one about the kid with the imaginary friend version of Adolf Hitler during the 40s. I really loved that film.
Is it based on a true story or not?
No, it's not based on a true story.
But it's just like, so it's a kid, he has this imaginary friend who's Adolf Hitler?
Yeah, it's this kid, he's a Hitler youth in the 40s, and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler, and it's like a comedy. And
Oh, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was like a horror movie because that sounded kind of like good.
Well, there was a horror movie with a similar. Well, not horror. It's an episode of The Twilight Zone with a similar premise about like this guy who is like a neo-Nazi in America, and he's being trained how to talk by Hitler. But this one, which I really like, is it's more about it's about robbing Nazis of their power because it depicts the Nazis as buffoons, and that's a very classic example of Jewish art and Jewish comedy is robbing your oppressors of your power by making them into caricatures and buffoons. But moreover, what it also really heavily addresses in a very smooth way is brainwashing and how it's really easy to get like those ideologies of hate and anti-Semitism, racism into the youth culture through like brainwashing tactics and propaganda. And it really relates a lot to what's going on today with like the rise of the alt-right and white supremacy in the United States. So I really loved it. I was rooting for it like crazy. Taika Waititi was the director, and he did a fantastic job, and he also played Hitler in the movie, and he did an excellent job. And it's one of those films I think will get more of a cult following over time. Because it was popular, a lot of people saw it, but I feel like it'll sort of be talked about in the same circles as like To Be or Not to Be or the producers.
So real quick, let's say I'm taking a shorty out. She got her kid. And
She got a kid? Oh,
What,
it's a
what?
dub for me. You know,
I gotta be nice to the kid. You know what I'm saying? The kid is 5 years old.
Yes.
Do I take him to see Birds of the Prey or Sonic?
How old's the kid?
5.
Take me to see Sonic. Duh.
Sonic.
You need to ask that?
Sonic was charming. Sonic was, well, also, Birds of Prey is R-rated.
Right.
That's your first one.
So why would you take a...
Well, I mean, if you
Oh.
want to be the cool,
That's what I'm
guy,
saying. I like being cool.
if you like
you know
being
He's
cool-
5.
He's 5.
He ain't gonna never forget
Maybe if he was like 8,
Yeah,
9.
you can buy him his first beer too. Like show him Birds of Prey, take him to the bar afterward, be like, now we're gonna have this conversation about
I
Birds
didn't
of
know. I
Prey.
didn't know Birds of Prey was rated R.
It's rated R, and it's very R-rated. But yeah, Sonic was actually quite charming. Sonic was quite charming.
I gotta see it.
It's fine. It's charming. It's cute. It's not as annoying as I thought it would be. It avoids a lot of cliches while still adhering to a
Because I
couple.
love the video. I'm a huge Sonic.
Yeah, I love Sonic.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna love the movie.
Oh,
You're gonna love
bet.
it. Yeah.
Perfect.
They even got the rings in there.
They use the rings quite well, actually.
How's Jim Carrey in there?
Fire.
He's Jim Carrey.
He
He's
saved the
insane.
movie
He's
to me.
wonderful.
One of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah.
Saved the movie.
Like it's been like a long time since he's been doing a role like this. He's
Yeah.
been trying to be dark and serious, and that has been kind of mixed. But now he's back to doing comedy.
Perfect.
It's working pretty well.
I gotta see it. Shout out again to Josh for coming on the
Josh
show.
Guttman, movie critic. Shout out. They can see you at Nocturnal, right?
Yep, you can read my reviews on the Nocturnal. It's a media publication. Just look up my name, Joshua A. Guttman. You'll see all my reviews. I've just recently been posting reviews from some films from the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
That's something we talk about next time you're here.
Perfect. Shout out to everyone who watched. Shout out to everyone in the chat. It was a great Black History Month.
That's a fact. Shout out to me performing at SOBs. You know.
Word.
What I'm saying?
When
March
is
10th.
that performance? March
March
10th.
10th.
Okay, so
Check
we
me
so
out.
we still gonna have another show before that happens. but-
I'm just excited.
Facts.
Shout out to my mama.
We going
God.
up.
Yeah.
We going up. Anyways, you know the time, people. Live at 9. Peace out.
Peace.